Hello, chat. Uh, my mic wasn't working for like 5 minutes, so I had to stall the music portion out quite a bit. But it was good music. You can't say it wasn't, I guess. Anyway, we're here. Why is the image still sun drone? I'm pretty sure I changed it already. Why is it that? Wait, let me check. Does OBS not update? I guess. Oh, I didn't really change it, huh? Okay, that makes more sense then. Okay, so we're going to don't gatekeep the music. Nah, I think it's best to just leave that music as a mystery. It's on YouTube, I'll say that much. You're gonna go crazy looking up One Winged Angel party rockers in the house tonight. That's what I'm gonna be sure of. I think everybody needs to experience that because that's what I went through to get that shit. Okay, so how long do we have actually? Yeah, okay. 15 minutes or so. What is my recommendation going now? I don't Doka Magica, what? Whatever. Okay. What do we do? I guess we discuss. I'm going to discuss my next thumbnail art. All right. This is my next thumbnail art. I think it perfectly encapsulates what the video was going to be about. I think this looks pretty good, honestly. Basically, I'm just going to be like, oh, if you're like E0 Archer, do you still get Archer or do you still get Gilgamesh? Like, what are you doing? I don't think you can see it from afar. Like if it's just a YouTube thumbnail, it looks something like this, right? Like this size. Oh, okay, you can actually still see the gremlins in the back there. Don't mind them. You can still see Mem, which I think I'm trying to like make it more obvious that Mem is in the back there. I think these two are stealing the attention though. I don't know if I want that. Anyway. Why do I have this image saved? Hold on, I'm going to show you guys what image this is. Oh wow, that's way larger than I thought it was. What is this? Why do I have this saved? Well, okay, I think I know why I have this saved now. Not gonna lie, I was a little distracted. What? Well, I got something to say. What? I mean, I could just keep the image here, though. That is insane, though. Like, I guess this is how much they can vary the size of the characters in, like, the same body type. They don't abuse it that much, though. Well, it's like, Furina's like the thinnest character ever, so I assume this is just, like, relatively... You know, when you're, like, 4 feet, everything looks big to you, especially 6 foot people. I think this is like one of those cases. Maybe Sandrone is normal size. Anyway, let me look at my other images that I've saved over the past days that I'm not. Oh, right, I remember. Can I even show this on YouTube? Nah, I don't think I can. Okay, I can show this one. I think this is a really funny image, though. Okay, let me show this image. I screenshotted it. It's like really funny to me. Holy shit. You gotta put like that that basketball dunk gif with LeBron. Smoke Rip Bozo, dead on arrival. That's such a funny image. Oh, this is like the I was discussing swimsuit skins with other people the other day. And like, what about an Aglaia swimsuit? And then I remembered he actually already has one. You know, I would pay so much money for this. Kind of a shame though that it's like not, no, but it's okay, I guess. All right, next one. Why do I have this image saved? Why are my why is my screenshot folder so fucked up? Filled with the most random shit I've ever seen. I think I just screenshotted this for as like a reaction image or whatever. I don't know when I would be using this reaction image though. I don't think I've ever used it. I think I'll keep this image the entire stream. I think that perfectly encapsulates all my feelings. Okay, so live stream is in like 9 minutes or so. What do we talk about? I'm not gonna talk about fucking Gilgamesh or all the characters coming because that's for after the stream when I have to evaluate them. I don't think this is gonna be a long one, honestly. I'm gonna have like a banner review and stuff, and then I'm not even gonna record the selector video, but I think the closest one I'll have first is the banner review video. And like, I'm just gonna edit a couple of clips of it and, you know, see if they're good or not. But I don't really expect a Nova Flare. I'm gonna be completely real. I don't expect a Sunday Nova Flare at all. Um, I think it's absolute copium because, well, I have been hearing talk about like, oh, maybe Sunday Nova Flare will make Gilgamesh better, and I'm like, dude, if Sunday is really that good, Himiko's gonna get like the biggest buff of her life because none of her teammates are that good. So if a Sunday Nova Flare does end up being a good enough character for Gilgamesh to use, Himiko's gonna break the entire game in half. So take your pick, I guess. Drink the poison or whatever. Like, I'm not against the Sunday Nova Flare because, oh, Himiko Nova would be too imbalanced. No, I'm saying that if Sunday got a Nova Flare, don't expect that it's for the healthy balance of the game because fucking Himiko's gonna use it the best and Himiko's gonna, if your goal is, oh, Nova Flares make it easier to, like, not have power creep, well, oh boy, do I have news for you. It doesn't apply in this case, I would say. I mean, I would like a Sunday Nova Flare, just because I have him on 2 out of 3 of my accounts, so like I'm gonna profit from it. But let's be real, it's not for the healthy balancing of the game that he gets updated. He's in a position now. It's like a really awkward position where there's nothing else for Sunday to really do except be a Himiko buffer. But Himiko is so good at like a baseline level that whatever Sunday is gonna get out of his Nova Flare, that's like it might just be really, really minimal because Himiko is so OP. So it's like in a situation where if he's too strong, Himiko gets shot up to the moon and just pushes everyone down. Or if he's too weak, then that's a consequence of Himiko, but you know. Why does my voice sound so different? Now I'm noticing it. In the bingo bird? Oh shit, that's right. Bingo card. Bingo card, bingo card, bingo card. You're right, bingo card. We need a bingo card over here. Do we use the last bingo card? I guess we should, right? Is it this one? I don't think it's this one. Why do I have a spreadsheet that just doesn't have anything in it? I'm a weird guy. Is it this one? No, it's not. Is it this one? Nope. Is it this one? No, it's not. Dude, I am fucked up. I don't know where my bingo card is. Is it this one? No, that can't be it. Right? No, it's not. I lost my bingo card. What the fuck? It's not this one. Oh wait, it could be this one. No, it's not. God damn it. It's not this one. I'm looking through my Google Drive right now and finding it. It's really hard because I have so many spreadsheets that I've saved. Did I delete it already? That's gonna be a problem. Oh my god, I think I deleted it already. Fuck. Alright, well, I guess we make a new one then. New spreadsheet. I'm gonna name this bingo card. Okay. I have like 3 minutes to make this bingo card. What do I... Okay. First of all, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Free. Flex send. Center. Cubes. Okay, goddamn. Alright, alright, alright. How the, blah, blah, whatever. Free car for something. For some reason. I still can't get over that. Relic Recon. It's a ×2 planar relics. More than 10 pulls. Nova Flare. Yapping. Foiling the boss. Before the patch drops. Nihilix appears. Enuma Elish line, chant, I mean. Fuck. What else? The ducks. Himiko dies. Gilgamesh is a powerful DPS. Gil pairs well with Saber. Reen pairs well with Archer. Exciting new joint attacks. Swimsuit tees. New skin. This is such full of shit. Anyway, the guild team doesn't have Fofo. The Himiko team uses Mortanox blade. Actually, doesn't is more likely, right? Nah, let's say that. Free something that isn't Gil Archer. Oh fuck, wait. We're already here. Can you guys... No, can't guys hear it. How much time do we have left? Okay. God, we have to win the bingo at this point, right? Who else is the new character? Reen, Himiko, that's pretty much it, right? What do we do? Wait, what else? We only need 3 more slots. Eidolon's used? Yeah, that's fair. Something banner related? Oh. Rerun Ashvale. Rerun... Less than 4 events. Yeah, that's good. Okay, I think there's a certain focus here that I can't seem to ignore, but let's just leave it like that. Okay, let's make this line thicker. How the fuck do I do this again? Oh, there we go. Oh god, that's way too thick now. Okay, time to just... resize. 50? 30? Yeah, 30. That's good. That's perfect. Okay. The live stream is about to begin. Aren't you guys glad that you heard that Party Rock Sephiroth remix? We don't have to wait very long. Is it low? Is it loud enough? I should make it a bit quieter. There we go. Hello, 500 viewers right now, waiting for me to watch this stream. Alright, we have a bingo card here. I don't know what happens if I make a bingo. Maybe I'll give some memberships. Yeah, sure, why not? Can I gift memberships to myself, actually? I can. Oh my god, I can. Okay, I'm gonna do that. I'm gonna give, like, everyone 5 memberships or something. Let's see. 5 random... Whoa, what? Oh no, it lagged. Oh no. It's intentional. That was intentional. Uh-oh. Sponsored by Pearl.
To work or to be destroyed?
Oh my god, not you again.
Sweetie, the destruction combo you ordered is here.
Just leave it on the ground, thanks.
Ha! Inter-Astral Peace Entertainment's top-rated superstar is just a big, round bird.
This is a sauce, isn't it?
Look at all these feathers. Oh, ho, ho, ho.
This is a sauce.
Too bad. My delivery service doesn't do returns. Beg me. 200,000 credits and I'll let you go. Deal? Ha! Just kidding. It wouldn't help even if you did pay me. Want to save him? Let's play a game and see if your luck really is that good.
Bro thinks he's Jigsaw.
As you wish. The coast where the Tower of Infinity slumbered, where the Express set off once more.
Please make it full screen.
Or, as I frequently call it, where repeated mistakes began.
Okay.
Prosperity breeds corruption, and suffering forges heroes.
Oh, that's kind of awkward.
The myriad colors return to the home. This stone.
Okay.
If there's nothing ahead of us, then we'll trailblaze a path forward with our own hands! Starblazer! Trailblazing never
This is the resistance I have been looking for.
Oh, there goes the bingo.
Kid, if you can't find me, just look up at the stars. And as always, I'll be there to light up the entire night sky for you.
You saw a path no one had ever trod before.
Oh my god, Mom! Mom, no!
Don't be afraid. I'm here.
Okay, first of all... Sorry. No, my mom! Why'd you do that to my mom? Okay, I still have a bit of time. Okay, nothing. Yeah, that's it. My mom. Why'd they do that to my mom? This patch is gonna have like 5 variations of Final Lesson. I just know it. It's gonna have like 5 tracks that are just variations of the Final Lesson.
Woo! And whether or not your world has
What
a day night
is this?
Good morning, good afternoon, and good evening. Welcome to the Honkai Star Rail version 4.4 and Ravages Does the Whistle Sound special program. I'm your favorite host, Albert.
Are you really Albert? Why do you look like that?
Yeah! Where did our big, round, fluffy Albert go?
Don't even bring
They
it up.
become a memo sprite,
Oh,
I think.
Albert here was happily prepping for the show in the office when, bam! I got knocked out cold. Some lanky, hat-wearing weirdo tied me up and demanded I pay
Oh, what? Uh-oh.
200,000
That wasn't my fault.
credits, or
My
else it'd
OBS
be
isn't
over
saying
for
I'm
me.
dropping frames.
My poor life savings. When I came to, I was already like this.
Oh, you can't see it because
Good
of my
thing
avatar.
it was just some hat-wearing weirdo. For a moment, I thought you might have run into Asat Pramad.
Asat Pramad? What do you mean, Asat Pramad?
Never mind. I guess you could call this a blessing in disguise, huh?
I'm covering nothing important.
Now your legs are this long!
Oh, I guess you're right. All right, let's get back to today's show. You two, as per tradition, why don't you say hi to the audience first?
Okay! Hello, everyone! I'm Pom-Pom, conductor of the Astral Express.
And I'm Himiko, navigator of the Astral Express. It's a pleasure to see you all again.
Welcome back, guys. Let's get down to business. That version trailer
To
just now
defeat
was packed with information.
Yeah, and just look at this picture behind us. Everyone's expressions are so solemn, it's got Pom-Pom nervous too.
At the end of the version 4.3 story,
Well, the
Asat
Zaro farming, he
Pramad,
does
the
not
Lord
look somber at
Ravager,
all.
who aims to destroy Elation, dropped his disguise and revealed himself to everyone, completely shattering Plain Arcadia's 15 years of peace. This must be the unusual fate indicated in General Yao Guang's divination. At this point, the Phantas Moon games are completely out of control, and Plain Arcadia is hanging by a thread.
Facing off against the Lord Ravager again. There must be some cursed connection between them and the Astral Express.
Indeed. They've
Mhm.
gotten so entangled, they even developed a father-daughter bond.
What father-daughter bond? The thought that every single one of those heartwarming father-daughter moments was just some twisted performance by Asat Pramad. It makes my skin crawl.
Hey, don't forget, it's not just Ryusuke who's a fake. Himiko's identity is still shrouded in mystery too. According to Asat Pramad, something might have happened to the real Himiko 15 years ago.
Pom-Pom doesn't believe a single word Asat Pramad says. All Pom-Pom knows is that passenger Himiko has spent all her time with everyone on the Express and never once faked her feelings for us.
Thank you, conductor.
Yeah, that's my
well
mom.
said. Though it really makes you wonder what exactly Himiko went through 15 years ago. You seem to spill quite a few secrets during your face-off with Asat Pramad, Himiko.
I'll have a chance to tell my story later. Right now, our top priority is dealing with the massive problem that is Asat Pramad.
But how are we supposed to do that? We can't even track him down right now.
Yeah, remember when Asat
Oh my
Pramad
God,
held
what
the
is this?
Trailblazer and the others into the world in canvas? He also showed up in the tavern, the school, the abandoned station, and a bunch of other places at the exact same time. This guy is seriously good at fighting with clones.
And every single Asat Pramad looks exactly like the real deal. They
Or
can
like
act and fight on their
Asat
own, and
Pramad,
they've even
got
got
him.
that same obnoxious way of talking. Oh, speaking of which, Pom Pom just remembered that smart-mouthed meanie who fought Silver Wolf in version 4.2. Not only can he create clones, he also really loves to shapeshift, huh?
An old shape-shifting die, huh? For a Mod, that ability helps him disguise himself to get closer to his targets. Just like when he turned into Pearl and Graphia. Nobody suspected a thing at first.
And then there's Ryusuke. He didn't just look the part. He even acted out his personality so convincingly.
He even bought every last piece of Himicat merch. To
What?
think we let him visit the Astral Express and Passenger Trailblazer even called him Grandpa! Ugh. He really played everyone for fools.
I don't think I
Then
picked that
again,
dialogue
who
option.
wouldn't love a sensible, independent, and capable daughter like Himiko? Besides, is there really that much of a difference between acting like you care and actually caring?
Excuse me?
What made you burst out with that, Mr. Albert? Weird.
See? Feels exactly like something a Mod would say. Doesn't it just scream meanie?
Stop imitating him, Albert. Just hearing that gives me a headache. But to tell the truth, he is quite the master of disguise. If you in the audience ever ran into him, you might not even know it.
True. But
Why does
Pom-Pom
it sound
has
like
another
Blue's
question.
Clues now?
He uses these abilities to do so many things that seem completely unrelated to destruction.
This is a Mr.
Why
Rogers
is that?
episode. If
Mhm.
you see a
There's
stranger
a
that
reason
looks
for
like
that, of
this, do not go
Based
into their
on
car.
previous intel, when a Mod
Their
carries out
advice.
destruction, it's never just about overwhelming brute force. He prefers to observe like a chess player, sometimes even standing right beside his victims to watch them struggle in agony as they march step by step toward their demise.
Exactly. That much was proven during the catastrophe in Plain Arcadia a millennium ago. It was none other than the invader Asat Pramad who rescued
Himiko
Graphia
and
from the
Pom Pom's
ruins.
oblivious
He
to
then
Assad is giving
bestowed
Dora
upon
the
her
Explorer all
power
vibes.
of
Okay,
destruction,
that is a good
granting her
point.
the ability to turn her brush strokes into reality. She even
Himiko needs to
ended
look
up
at the screen
personally
and say like,
painting the ferocious giant beasts that
do
destroyed
you
her
know where
homeland.
Assad Pramad is? And then like a
Turning the
5-second
victim into the very
pose.
fuel for the fire. That's so
No,
cruel.
it can't be this
Maybe
guy in
to
the
him,
on the right
destruction is
here.
just a
Can
cruel
you
joke.
tell me where Assad Pramad
Remember what
is?
we learned from the previously released Myriad
Yeah.
Celestia about Assad Pramad's past before he embraced the destruction? To him, the elation of today is completely unrecognizable, vulgar and boring. Peace has lasted far too long. Only a return to suffering can breed true amusement. All that overflowing
I'm not gonna cross out the
powerless
yapping one because this
rage
one
and
actually matters.
futile struggling. How delicious.
Assad hasn't talked this
What
much
a
yet,
sick
so
man. So he turned Plain Arcadia into this?
Oh no! Is this still the Arcadia we know? There's rubble everywhere! And the roads have been cut off!
Are those Imaginae affected too? They're actually attacking people.
oh my god,
And what's with
1.x
these lightning
enemies.
strikes? Has even the Thunder Coil
Oh,
been
hell
under
no.
control?
Yeah, Supremata has warped all of Plain Arcadia beyond making
Oh no, not the 1.x
traveling
enemies.
everywhere just to survive. But luckily, Perdido Station, where the Express is docked, is still relatively safe and has become a rare haven.
What about our companions? How are they doing?
Don't worry, everyone's safe and sound for now.
Oh, it's Kuchiba.
They were just forced to
Kuchiba
split up
spotted.
because of a
It's Asheville.
problem.
Asheville. Mr. Ren here too.
However, according to Madame Pearl's observations, once the conflict broke out, Himiko and Assad Pramad dropped out of monitoring range together, leaving their whereabouts a mystery at one point.
To be precise, he deliberately severed any leads you could use to track me down.
Darn it! That guy really had it all planned out! But why?
Judging by his behavior, he's extremely curious about what actually happened 15 years ago and the secret I carry. He's the kind of person who won't rest until he gets to the bottom of everything. If he's that fixated on it, I'd wager his obsession itself is a clue to what's really driving him.
Good point. Let's start by looking at the unanswered questions from 15 years ago. First off, at the end of version 4.3, we saw that when facing the Herald of Death, there was indeed another voice beside Himiko. Was she? Does another Himiko really exist? What exactly is Himiko's identity?
We're reaching this point now, I guess.
Celestia Short will give us a few clues on this secret first.
I like the Starry
Besides
logo.
that, when Himiko faced off against the Herald of Death, a giant mechanical arm appeared right in front of her. Later, when she went toe-to-toe with the Cybermod alone, the mech showed up again, and the Cybermod even called it an old friend. Where did this mech even come from? And why can Himiko summon it?
In the version trailer, passenger Himiko called it Starblazer.
Starglazer?
Sort of rings a bell for Pom Pom.
Uh-huh. Good catch, Pom Pom.
This is Himiko's room?
The prototype for this mech comes from the first and last stop of the Express, Akabili's homeland, Pagana.
Wait, no, this probably isn't Himiko's room.
As a weapon of war. Pagana's legacy showing up in plain Arcadia probably has a lot to do with the wrecked Express.
The wrecked Express! Graphia and Ryusuke both mentioned earlier that it was a tower of infinity piercing the sky and earth. Were they talking about this place?
That's right. Though there was no trace of the Starblazer on the Express back in the day, I wonder how Himiko managed to get her hands on it. Not only did you find the clues, you also managed to restore the mech single-handedly. Wait, make that double-handedly. As expected of my navigator. And as for more details about the Herald of Death case from 15 years ago, there's indeed a bit more we can reveal. Stay tuned for the upcoming animated short.
Be sure to check it out.
Okay.
And aside
My
from
mom is
these
crying.
secrets right
Don't
before
cry.
vanishing with the Cybermod, Himiko subtly left behind a clue related to the Express. Cracking the clue might just reveal Himiko's whereabouts, and so try our best to try and stall a Cybermod and wait for her friends to show up.
I believe the Trailblazer will step up.
What is this
uncover the
Looney Tunes
truth from
live
15
stream?
years ago, and find a way to deal with Asat Pramad. When that time comes, we'll face this battle together.
You said it. We'll always find a way, no matter how hard things get. For now, let's see what kind of tricks our final enemy, Asat Pramad, will resort to in battle. As a Lord Ravager, what he brings to the fight goes way beyond his usual flippant nonsense.
Oh my god, it's the
and as a former masked fool,
Narukami Ogosho, God of Thunder.
Ravager, he assumes 3 distinct forms in combat, each wielding a different set of abilities.
Those 3 faces looming over us. So intimidating.
First up is a dazzling
It has the same arms.
rocket magic. If the audience isn't careful, it might go like this.
Riding the west wind, away we go.
Is that how rockets are supposed to be used?
Bust.
Dice rolling also
Or
part of the
maybe
battle?
I'll take it all.
3 special effects to choose from. To keep things fair, you get 1, and
Actually, I
he
really
gets
like
2.
this gimmick.
How very fair.
Now check this out. Pew! Hearted it.
Can he stop
I'm
playing
surprised there
around?
hasn't been an HSR character that plays pool,
This
not
battle is
gonna
just a
lie.
game of destruction brought by the Lord Ravager. If you don't play along, all that awaits us is the destruction.
Oh, it's Evernight.
No! The Express!
However, after clearing the trial, Trailblazers can obtain high hopes of the falsely enlightened.
Oh my god,
A
Evernight
trace
plot
level
hole.
up material through Echo of War, the comedy of doom.
Darn it! Pom Pom can't wait to teach this meanie a lesson!
Right now, I just want to rip his die off and kick it around like a ball.
You go,
By
mom.
the way,
Tell
it's
him.
rare to get the chance to converse face to face with a Lord Ravager on equal footing like this. This time, the Trailblazer will also be able to uncover quite a few interesting things through Asat Pramad. Like gossip about the Lord Ravagers, their first loves, and
You
stuff
tell
like
him,
that.
Mom.
Oh, or maybe you'll even be able to uncover some secrets regarding the truth of the finality and the Trailblazer's origins. But how much you actually manage to uncover, well, that'll depend on your own skills. All right, story time's over. Now, let's check out the all-new Himiko Nova's performance and battle.
Alright. Is that Himicat? She's putting in Nescafe or whatever.
Passenger Himiko really is something else with her brand new powers. She looks more like a valiant Valkyrie now. She's so full of spirit.
I know, right? With an aura like that, even old Albert is getting all fired up.
My younger self.
Who up assisting their
probably
skills right
wouldn't
now?
have
That's a good
believed
one.
That I'd actually get to fly into space and pilot a mech
She
one
assists
day.
my skill
That's
until
right. It's also her biggest highlight. in combat.
Starglaze.
Himiko Nova is a fire-type character following the
Okay,
path of
what
erudition.
team is this?
When Himiko Nova is on the field, she immediately deploys a territory and summons
No
the
team yet, alright.
Starblazer mech.
Wow, if Passenger Welt saw this, he'd be so thrilled. He'd drop everything to study it for 3 days and 3 nights straight.
All enemies will be brought onto the satellite platform. This is our home turf.
When using her ultimate, Himiko will lead her teammates to pilot the mech together.
That's
We
so
too
cool.
try the star. Is
When
this
you're
is that not?
piloting the mech, enemies are like ants on the deck with nowhere to hide. The mech
I'm not gonna
even
say it.
auto-cruises at high altitude, giving us complete control of the field of vision.
Oh,
We can pilot
you can move it
Starblazer
around?
to
That's pretty
unleash
cool,
2
actually.
different attack abilities
Too bad it
against
doesn't
the
fucking
enemy.
matter.
Use hyperluminal particle beam to slice through foes with a blur of light blades, dealing damage and gaining charge. After aiming and charging up, the mech unleashes an orbital annihilation pulse.
This
and
the footage
consumes
is
all
lagging
charge. The more charge
because
it
of this
has,
shit.
the higher the damage.
This is the
dealt.
lowest FPS
And
I've ever
once the
seen in my
blade of light's attack
life.
count is depleted, Himiko will also lead everyone in piloting Starblazer to launch the final.
Why was the Trailblazer naked there?
Strike. Take that.
Okay,
That's the power of the navigator.
Spot on.
solid team, I guess. Yeah,
As the
not too
navigator
bad.
of the Express, Himiko will always protect her
Unfortunately, this
teammates alongside
clears my
Starblazer
bingo.
and lead everyone to victory. By using her skill, Himiko Nova can gain Navigator Semaphore, which increases allies' damage and recovers uses of the assist skill.
Wait a minute. What's an assist skill?
Ah, the conductor is asking the right question. In Himiko's territory, all allied teammates will gain an extra special ability, the assist skill. The assist skill has its own dedicated button. Once you use it,
Wait, I need to look out if
on
this has
Starblazer to
icons or
lend a
not.
hand, launching an attack on all enemies.
And if the teammate using the assist skill is a fellow companion from the Express, depending on who they are, they'll also gain special effects.
Wow, the Express cohort has such a strong bond. But what if they have different forms? like
Currency Wars
Passenger
mentioned.
March? Do the special effects apply to every form?
Don't worry. In my eyes, March will always be March. No matter how much our companions grow, this bond will never change.
You can open the buff information screen both in
No
and
Sunday
out of combat to
mention.
check the
Oh, there
specific
he
effects.
is.
Got it. That makes things way more convenient.
Outside of battle, Himiko Nova can also pilot her mech while exploring the map, locking onto the enemy from high above and launching attacks on the enemies within range.
This is practically turning into a first-person shooter.
Yep. All right.
If
Now that
only,
we've seen the
Pom
combat
Pom.
showcase,
If only.
let's check out the banner details for this version. Throughout the whole duration of version 4.4, Trailblazers
Oh.
can obtain the limited 5-star character.
Oh,
Himiko
she's
Nova,
available
and
the
the
entire
drop rate
patch,
for
okay.
Limited 5-star light cone.
No DDD, well,
A star
that's-
that lights the night
Alright.
will also be boosted. In the first half of version 4,
Oh my god,
limited
Sparksy.
5-star characters.
Oh no.
Sparksy, Don Hung, Permance or Terrai, and Evernight, as well as limited 5-star light cones. Dazzled by a
Shit,
flower
I
of
want
light,
Evernight
the worlds
C1, not
apart,
gonna lie.
And to Evernight Stars will have a rerun. In the second half of version 4,
The Red Run.
part 2 of the special warp event will also become available.
Wow, this
The
is
limited
a banner
5-star
of fucking
characters,
death.
Ridra, Adaxa, and Aventurine, and the limited
Shitty
5-star
banner.
light cones.
Oh,
Ewok
wow.
etched in golden blood.
You are
Like
getting
Cast of
scammed if
Flames,
you pull this
and
banner, by the
Harry
way.
and Just Destiny will rerun.
All right.
Awesome!
All right, that's a wrap for today's show. As the whistle sounds and ravages, do you two have anything else you'd like to say to everyone?
Let Pom Pom go first then. The crew of the Astral Express has been traveling together for a long time,
Oh,
and we faced many challenges. But as long as we always stick together, there's no obstacle we can't overcome.
We've definitely been through a lot of tough moments along the way. But that's
And
exactly
funny
why
moments.
traveling and trailblazing together holds
Family
such
Guy funny
profound
moments.
meaning. As long as we never give up, we'll always be able to trailblaze a path to the future. But this time, whether we can continue depends on your choice.
I've laid all my cards on the table, big hero.
Did you
Oh.
enjoy my show?
oh.
I'm really looking forward to your performance. And my dear daughters.
Okay, this makes more sense.
Don't let me down. See you there.
Okay. Not gonna lie, I wasn't expecting that one.
What? Still thinking about Himiko? I'll tell you about it then.
What
About
was I gonna...
Himiko's childhood.
All right, Himiko. That's it for tonight's bedtime story.
Aw,
Off to sleep now.
good night then, Dad.
After his daughter fell asleep, the poor Dean always had to spend some time alone, tackling his endless mountain of work. That's what he got for working 2 jobs. But that day, a little accident happened.
Oh no.
Dad, you've been working so hard. I brewed you some coffee.
Himiko! This is the first time you've made coffee for Dad. I'm so touched. So good, so unique.
Really, Dad? Then I'll make some for you every day.
A thought flashed through the Dean's mind. Could this kid have already seen through his disguise? No, no, no. Impossible. It didn't matter, though. He barely went home anyway. And in the blink of an eye,
Who is it?
Himiko grew up. They say that in
What's
school,
wrong?
she was reliable, mature, and highly trusted.
Please don't beat me up! I really don't have any more money!
Hurry! Himiko, I see them! They're right up ahead!
What is she doing?
Get behind me!
Himiko! Thank you.
Don't be afraid. You're safe now.
Ah, such a good kid. Never giving me anything to worry about. It really took the fun out of being a father. Later, Himiko's weathering curse got worse. So it was finally my time to shine. Or so I planned.
My sweet daughter, why aren't you answering the phone? Daddy's home, but the house is completely empty. Where are you?
We moved 5 years ago.
Oh, well, I'm back for 3 days this time. Want to go grab some seafood noodles at Kraken's Tavern? We can even pick up some treats from your favorite spot on the way.
I don't like... Never mind. I've got stuff to do. Go eat by yourself.
Ooh, is this the long overdue rebellious phase? Daddy's looking forward to it. What about you, protagonist? Are you really not going to call me Grandpa one more time?
Okay. Okay. What was I gonna do again? Right. This wasn't right. Let me. Whatever. I was blind. Okay, I don't think. Nihilux appeared, right? No, she didn't. Whatever. Okay, we're back. Okay. Of course we're in plain Arcadia. Where am I? Am I in Fuyuki? Get Lancer out of here. You clearly don't have any plan for this dude.
Whether or not your world has a day-night cycle, welcome to my stream.
My little Sparks heads! Your favorite Sparks
What?
is back.
Why are you here?
Good day, everyone. I am Veritas Ratio.
Dispense with the formalities. Fetch seats for these two.
Albert, your entrance is way too over the top. Can you even read the teleprompter from way up there?
You guys just don't get it.
0 points.
Mug. Oh! Hey! Who did that?
Albert, watch your language.
Exactly! The stream's gonna get taken down!
Oh, fine. My bad. I just couldn't pass up the
Why is there a
rare
rubber
chance to
duck?
scratch that itch. Alright, let's officially get down to business. Welcome back, everyone, to the version 4.4 preview and the Honkai Star Rail.
I like that
and
ceiling
Base Day Night
fan.
Unlimited Blade Work
Wait.
collaboration special
You guys can't see
program.
it. There's a ceiling fan. That looks exactly like the one I have right
Getting
now.
to the main topic.
I've been looking forward to this collaboration for ages, especially when I saw they actually brought in the legendary Rin Toesucka and Gilgamesh. My heart practically leaped out of my chest.
She looks a lot
I'd
like you,
really like
Sparkle.
to see how this night plays out.
Are you LARPing
Have
as her?
yourselves, you two. Let old Albert here break it down for you. Naturally, our story this time takes place in plain Arcadia. Just look at where we are right now.
The Little Furbo's publishing house.
No, it's Ashvale's detective agency.
There's another case?
Correct. 2 big news stories just broke in the Arcadia recently. Remember the Star Rail Fest we were invited to back in version 4.1?
It left quite an impression.
I don't just remember.
Yeah, we went to
I really
we went to
remember it.
Britain.
Sparksicle even made a cameo as a live host.
They
Following
confirmed
the
that Britain
battle with the
exists
Daybreak
somewhere
Squadron,
in
the
HSR
crisis was
universe.
averted, and the exhibition is still ongoing. And the Astral Express also teamed up with Perlux Core, providing quite a few pieces from their collection for the exhibition, including a memento from the Trailblazers' adventure.
Somewhere in the universe, someone is eating beans on toast.
Nikoni.
That is
Someone
very
filed a
terrifying
report,
to think
though,
about.
saying the Holy Grail was stolen right off the exhibition floor, and all fingers are pointing at a girl in red with twin tails.
Huh? Wait, don't all look at me. Am I really the type to just swipe other people's stuff?
Could it be Rin Toesucka?
Leave it to Dr. Ratio to hit the nail on the head.
But what does she want with the Trailblazers' Holy Grail?
She didn't really have a choice.
Oh.
After the 5th Holy Grail War ended, Rin Toesucka embarked on an adventure across different worlds. She accidentally stumbled into ours along the way and
Rin
ended up completely
Toesucker.
draining her magical energy. Stranded here after losing her magical energy, Rin Toesucka sensed the presence of the Holy Grail. In a moment of desperation, she borrowed it, attempting to summon a servant to help out and use the Holy Grail's power to leave. After some tinkering, the wish-granting Grail connected with this land brimming with wish power, and just like that, it booted back up and started working again.
Wait.
Why
a
are people
sec.
spamming the
Didn't
blush
Screw turn
emo?
this Holy Grail into a display piece back in
Was
Penn?
why?
How is it actually actually working again.
That's the crux of the matter. This decorative Holy Grail does work, but the way it's used is definitely a bit different. The power it uses now is wish power.
I don't think Green actually shows her feet that much, though. It is unfortunate that her name is Toesucka. And people keep saying it like this.
As its owner, along with their experiences from past Holy Grail wars, it directly selects and matches the participants. You could say this is actually an Imagine Holy Grail war.
Whoa! Isn't this just a massive cosplay convention?
Since the contestants are picked based on memories, they should all be familiar faces to the Trailblazer, right?
Not necessarily. At least to the Trailblazer, Gilgamesh is hardly a familiar face.
Yep, Sparks is right. This time around, the Trailblazer won't just run into familiar companions from their journey who appear after being summoned by the Holy Grail.
What?
They'll also make new friends and new opponents.
But wait a minute. If there's no magical energy in the Holy Grail, doesn't that mean Rin Toesucka still can't leave?
Which brings us to another
Rin
huge piece of
Toesucka
news.
can't leave?
The ritual began, golden rain poured from the Arcadia sky, and countless treasures.
Oh my god, there's a golden rain. There's gonna be a golden shower.
To make a fortune.
Wait a minute.
Just snag one or two.
Albert, you're practically drooling.
Snap out of it.
Stop drooling.
Rumor has it that a lot of people scored treasures from this rain, and each pair of participants walked away with an incredibly precious treasure of the king. These treasures are packed with wish power, and apparently the Holy Grail can convert them into magical energy in some bizarre way.
So, if we track down the holders, collect the treasures, and toss them into the Holy Grail, we can build up magical energy?
Wait, no. You just said treasure of the king.
Oh my god.
You don't mean the treasures of that king, do you?
That's right, the very same king.
Yapping times
Treasures
2.
of Gilgamesh.
I heard he's super possessive of his treasures. Would he really let something like this happen?
But I've also heard he's lost the key to his vault more than once. So I guess it's not.
He also got shot by Arthur pretty
things
easily.
went off the rails real quick. The scattered treasures sparked a massive uproar across the Arcadia, and some folks are even using social media to stir up the
He's
pot.
not actually that
Seems like
threatening.
they've got a hidden agenda. Right now, the Imagine Holy Grail War has already kicked off, yet the identities of our opponents remain unknown. Even the King of Heroes has manifested in this realm due to his scattered treasures. Everything is happening way too fast. There's definitely a mastermind pulling the strings behind the scenes. As a key player who participated in the Pentaconian Holy
Pretty
Grail
sure he got
War,
shot by
the
Archer
Trailblazers
more than
have been
once
commissioned
and
by the
almost
Department
died
of
each
Operation
one.
Defense to team up
And I think he actually
Rin
died on
Toesucka.
the other one.
Their mission: swiftly recover the treasures of the king, stabilize the situation, and track down the truth behind this series of occurrences.
Plus, it'll help Rin Toesucka stock up on enough magical energy to continue her journey.
Yes.
right.
I wonder what kind of beautiful sparks our friends from another world
Yes.
when they collide with ours this time around.
So please stay tuned for this collaboration, Trailblaze Continuance, Imagine Holy Grail War.
Can't wait!
Ah, yes. Plus, this year's collaboration event,
Okay.
Star Rail Night.
Oh my god, is that a Rin Fumo?
As the story progresses. During the event, we'll be fighting side by side with Rin Toesucka to take on the enemy. In battle, not only can we use characters'
What
own
the
signature
fuck is
moves,
this?
we can also freely wield various noble phantasms to unleash different abilities. And as the story unfolds, we'll encounter different noble phantasm holders. Defeating them will allow us to recover their noble phantasms and gain.
Stop
even
showing
more
Lancer. You're not gonna make him a playable
But
character.
New characters will also join the team lineup to fight alongside Rin Toesucka, unlocking their unique noble phantasms. And
I will only
moves for
accept it if
even
you make him a
richer
playable
combat
character.
experience.
Stop this.
Oh, and one more thing.
Wow, that's the lowest damage I've ever seen on
See some
Archer, I'm not
classic
gonna
noble
lie.
Phantasms in action during combat this time around, like this one.
Whoa, rule breaker.
Rules are made to be broken, right?
Shut the fuck up.
Bingo! And as we dig deeper into the investigation,
I like the
we'll
chibi
gradually
art.
reveal the true identities of the remaining masters and servants.
Chiba.
Closer and closer to the truth.
Oh, wait. What's this on the blackboard?
I would also let
It's actually
Toesucka be my
energy.
master. Anyway.
These are painstakingly crafted notes of our research tech noob, Miss Toesucka, to help everyone
What
sort out our
is this
current
pairing?
progress and no clues. Anyway, keep exploring alongside Rin Toesucka. Grab more powerful noble phantasms, try out different combat styles, and uncover the truth behind this imagine holy grail war.
Okay.
Okay, now that we've covered the event details, let's learn more about our two guests from another world.
Ooh. I do like that their color scheme is basically archers. Damn, really giving us everything, huh? All they're missing now is like an ass shot. Woo! This is one of the coolest ultimates ever. Too bad it doesn't do any damage.
No wonder everyone calls her Miss Toesucka. She's so elegant, even in a fight.
But besides gem magecraft, I think I saw something else. Is that the jeweled sword Zelrich she's holding?
And when she was up in the air, wasn't there a giant bow following right beside her? I swear I've heard someone mention a scene like this somewhere.
You've got a sharp eye, Sparksy. These are actually powers Rin Toesucka acquired during her travels and adventures, and now she can wield them effortlessly as her own.
She never forgets to study and reflect, even while traveling.
I need to listen if
So,
they're gonna
the rumors
say
of her diligence are true.
That's right.
for the
Now,
bingo.
let's
I need
take
to
a closer
listen.
look at how Rin Toesucka performs in battle
Okay.
after arriving in this new world. Rin Toesucka is an erudition character whose attacks deal quantum damage to enemies.
Get Popo out of here, bro.
A mage who actually throws hands?
Looks like she's no slouch in close combat, despite being a mage.
Besides close combat, an exceptional mage like Rin Toesucka is naturally a pro at using
I've
gems
never
and
seen that
crafts.
animation in my
After using
life.
her technique to enter combat or at the start of combat, she gains a certain amount of gem energy.
Never thought I would
During
see
combat,
unenhanced
whenever
skill.
an allied teammate
on
consumes
Rin.
or recovers skill points, great damage increases, and Rin Toesucka gains gem energy.
Here
One of
comes
these
the
things is
sparkly
not
gem
like the
magecraft.
other.
Gems are pretty expensive. So,
No way, they're main
Rin
DPSing
will
Rin.
gem energy
Holy.
she obtains, and once it reaches a certain level, her skill will level up. When using her enhanced skill, Rin Toesucka can deal damage to all enemies. She then consumes her current gem energy to deal multiple extra instances of damage to random enemy targets. The
Gem
more
alert.
gem energy she has, the more times she deals damage.
So, how do you obtain gem energy more efficiently?
Don't forget what was mentioned earlier. The rate you gain gem energy is tied to changes in skill points. So, use that to your advantage.
Oh, so that means we need to spend or recover skill points more frequently then.
That's right. Plus, when using her enhanced skill, if the team has enough skill points, Rin Toesucka can directly consume skill points and
Oh, yeah.
convert them into gem energy to replenish her ammo. When using her ultimate, Rin Toesucka summons a
Angaltaki
giant bow
Galtse.
and transforms a planet into an arrow, firing it from the sky to the earth. This deals damage to all enemies and immediately recovers 1 skill point.
Sky above, earth below. When it comes to a brawl, Rin Toesucka steals the show.
Wait, in that scene just now.
Why are you such
after
a
Archer fired an
a
arrow,
ring glazer,
did
Sparksy?
Rin Toesucka also launch a follow-up attack with her giant bow? What's up with that?
What's up with that?
Professor? When Rin Toesucka and Archer are on the same team and certain conditions are met, they'll launch a joint follow-up attack, dealing damage to all enemies and recovering skill points.
I see.
I see.
Finally, the scene I was waiting for.
All right, next up, let's meet
Okay, I don't think there was any Eidolons there.
the King of Heroes, Gilgamesh.
Oh, here he comes. Here he comes, bruh. Look at this. 100k damage. 1.5 million.
That air
Oh,
of
okay.
superiority and arrogance is exactly as the rumors described.
You can't have a scene like this without dropping a killer line.
Rabbit dog! Who gave you permission to look at me? Keep your eyes glued to the ground forever.
Spot on! Totally spot on!
That was a pretty good impression.
Just some basic acting chops.
There he is.
Speaking of which, this King of Heroes really never forgets his street lamp, no matter where he goes. I wonder if he's satisfied
Can
with
we
the
play
high
Guess the
fights
Team?
in Dimension City.
So this is how he fights. To think those noble phantasms we'd only ever heard rumors about, Ea, the Gate of Babylon, Enkidu, all showed up one after another.
Mm-hmm. This King of Heroes' combat abilities totally match his personality, too.
Oh.
Gilgamesh is a lightning character following the path of destruction. Boring enemies aren't worth the King of Heroes going all out. When entering combat, Gilgamesh will be in a bored state due to a lack of interest. A bored Gilgamesh will automatically use his basic attack, casually attacking the enemy. After any ally takes action, he accumulates interest. And when a teammate uses their ultimate, Gilgamesh gains additional interest, boosts the damage of his own ultimate, and regenerates a certain amount of
Oh
energy.
my god, there's something.
Arrogance is really just another form
No.
of stupidity.
But
Why?
once you please the king, he really gets into the performance.
Why did he
Using his
basic
skill,
attack?
Gilgamesh deploys the Gate of Babylon. Ignoring the enemy's defense, he uses Enkidu to firmly pin them to the ground. Then fires weapons from his vault, dealing multiple instances of damage to the enemy.
The sky is filled with Goldie's weapons. Talk about flashy. I can
They let
hear
you charge.
him laughing through the screen.
Gaze upon my royal visage! Using his ultimate, Gilgamesh summons Enuma Elish. After analyzing the world, he unleashes earth-shattering power, dealing damage to all enemies. Enuma Elish!
Even the attack name is
Does this-
incredibly flashy.
It's
Does
like
this
the
count
whole
as,
world is being ripped apart.
for the bingo?
Talk about over the top.
From the looks of it, that strike of his was definitely meant to end it all.
So when he and Saber are on the same team, there's an extra effect too. When faced with this worthy opponent, the King of Heroes will also take action.
They really hate RMC.
His kingly majesty, hurling countless weapons onto the field to deal damage to all enemies.
Classic Gilgamesh, through and through.
Yep, after pulling a stunt like that, Gilgamesh even gains interest following the joint follow-up attack. You see? Really, he's having a blast.
This team-up is just...
When using his technique on the map, Gilgamesh unleashes Enkidu to imprison nearby enemies upon entering battle. He also immediately gains a certain amount of interest.
The skill design this time really captures the King of Heroes aura. Plus, we get to see so many iconic scenes all at once.
I'm actually more interested in seeing how he behaves in the story.
All right. Next up, let's take a look at the other important info for this version.
Okay.
The Honkai Star Rail
Yes, we
and
know this.
Fate Stay Night Unlimited
The
Blade
end of version
collaboration
4.6.
officially launch
So if
on
there was gonna be
July
Nova players, he would know
24th.
about it.
From when the collab starts and until the end of
That's a
version
pretty long
4.6,
time.
Trailblazers can log into the game to claim the limited 5-star.
Okay, so
collab
there's
gear
really
with
no need to
Gilgamesh
choose
or
right now.
Archer for free.
Choose one to obtain for free.
Wow, the entrance of the ever-arrogant King of Heroes himself. I bet he'll bring quite a few spectacular moments to your trailblazing expedition.
If you truly end up traveling with Gilgamesh, you definitely won't be bored on that journey. As for whether it gets written into an epic, that's entirely up to your performance.
I'm thrilled to be meeting the King of Heroes. So, once you choose a character to claim, you'll also receive a set amount of the corresponding upgrade materials. After the collaboration kicks off on July 20th,
Launch.
you can obtain the limited 5-star
Okay, this is long term,
collaboration
okay.
character in Toesucka from the
As
gem
expected.
coursing in red banner, and the limited 5-star collaboration light cone, flickering stars from the Kaleidec coruscation banner. Through Of the Beginning and Enuma Elish, Trailblazers can obtain the limited 5-star collaboration character, Gilgamesh.
I
And they
am
can obtain
as
the
you
limited 5-star
behold.
collaboration light cone, I Am As You Behold, in Age of God's Golden Gate. Meanwhile, the guarantee counts will be shared between this phase's collaboration character and Light Cone Warps, and the first phase's collaboration warps. With the launch of the second phase of the collaboration, we will merge the event warps from both phases under the Fate UBW Collaboration Warp category. For more details, please refer to
So your pity doesn't get lost
Plus,
from the last
this
Fate
collaboration
banner.
warp will also be available
Obviously.
long term.
Long term.
Albert, are we getting any warp promos like last time?
You bet! After spending a total of 200 Star Rail special passes, Trailblazers can directly choose and claim one limited collaboration
200 pulls,
5-star
okay.
light cone once the collaboration event begins. I am as you behold, or the hell where ideals burn. The special
I'm
promotion
not gonna
lasts
lie,
for
none
all
of these
version
light cones are
4.4.
that
So,
good.
from the version updates
It
until
really
the
is just
collaboration
a
event begins,
bonus.
Any Star Rail special passes spent in any limited warp will count.
Amazing!
That is actually pretty great.
With the Honkai Star Rail and
Alright.
Fate Stay Night Unlimited Blade Wars collaboration about to launch again, we want to once again take this opportunity on the special program to sincerely thank all our partners.
A
Alright.
heartfelt thank you to Kinoko Nasu and Takashi Takeuchi for their continuous help and support, from story
That
planning,
sounds weird
character
coming from
combat
you.
design, all the way to the project's launch.
And here's a little something for the dedicated staff behind the scenes who worked so hard both this year and last. Thank you for everything.
Good work.
We hope this year's content delivers a stellar experience for everyone. Our
Alright.
voice artists have also prepared some special well wishes for all of you.
Oh, there's voice actor
take a look.
messages, okay.
開拓者の皆さんこんばんは、東坂凛役の上田香奈です。崩壊スターレイル、フェイトステイナイト、アンリミテッドブレイドワークスのコラボがいよいよ始まります。私もいつもと少し違うリーを演じてとても楽しかったです。実はストーリーの中で長年の夢が一つ叶ったので、私にとっても今回のコラボは特別な経験になったなと感じています。一族の使命を背負い、たった一人で聖杯戦争の道を歩む凛と、困難が待っていると知りながらその旅路を歩む開拓者。二人には重なる部分がいくつもあります。違う世界を生きている二人なんですが、その根底にはボロボロになっても決して諦めないという強い意志があるんですよね。今回のコラボではリンが別の世界で魔術を振るい、そして新たな仲間と出会います。活躍するリンをまた見ることができて私も嬉しかったです。どの世界にいてもリンは決して諦めず一歩も引かない、そんな優秀な魔術師です。ぜひ今回のコラボを楽しんでくださいね。開拓者の皆さんが旅の中で自分だけの光を見つけられますように。常に余裕を持って優が垂れ、これが東坂の家訓よ。開拓者、旅はまだ続くわ。ここ一番ってところでヘマしないようにね。
開拓者の皆さんこんばんは。フェイトステイナイトギルガメッシュ役の関智和です。崩壊スターレイル、フェイトステイナイトアンリミテッドブレードワークスのコラボがいよいよ始まります。常に頂点に君臨する王ギルガメッシュと星の海を渡る開拓者、一見すると全く異なる2人ですが、実はどっちも自分の意志で前へ進むという揺るぎない信念を持っています。古の英霊が新たな星に降り立つ時、そこで目にするのはもう一つの戦争だけではありません。彼の輝きと矜持を余すことなく受け止める広大な新天地です。果たして新たな世界に現れたギルガメッシュはどんな活躍を見せてくれるのでしょうか。ぜひこの旅をお楽しみください。そして王の器を見届けていただけたらと思います。
Hell yeah, brother.
ほう、そこの開拓者とやら、この俺の姿を拝むことを許そう。王の宴は整った。光栄に思え、そして存分に楽しむがいい。
Thank you all for the well wishes.
Oh, that wasn't over.
Next, let's take a look at the rest of the content in version 4.4.
Ah, yes, the event.
corner
Count it.
schemes just
1,
forever. in the version event Anti-Graft Brickbuster.
Brickbuster?
Venturing gives
That
us
just
an
sounds like...
assignment
Okay,
to
never
launch an
mind.
internal investigation into IPC corruption. With the help of Prometheus, the AI assistant provided by Silverwolf, will
Me
try
pulling
to
for...
crack the
me
IPC
selecting Gilgamesh for
firewall,
Saber.
infiltrate their
That's
system,
what you call a
and secure
brickbuster.
key evidence.
Do I have to be a hacker too?
Yep. All sorts of cracked data bricks from the firewall will keep raining down from above. We need to carefully
Call
adjust
that
our
a
angles,
brickbuster.
select a
Anyway.
landing spot, and catch and stack the bricks one by one into a tall tower formation.
Oh,
Once
it's
the firewall is
Tetris.
completely dismantled, we win!
But like
The higher
lobotomized.
those data bricks stack, the wobblier the tower
Oh, it's
gets.
Jenga!
The firewall
Ah!
will also unleash various counter
That was
abilities
Tetris.
to interfere with our efforts. So, be careful with your moves, everyone. But as we stack, we'll also gain all kinds of handy
hell
abilities.
no.
Make good use of these abilities to provide
This game
help
is too
to our
traumatizing
allies
for me.
and achieve success even faster. After clearing story mode, co-op mode will also be unlocked. Trailblazers can freely choose to team up with their friends or Silverwolf to complete the challenge together.
Okay.
Stack them steady and tear it down fast.
It's got the eye emote
In addition
going
to the
on
new
there.
version events, Currency Wars
Hell
Zero
yeah.
Sum Game is also getting an update. Ascension level rewards will be expanded to
Hell yeah.
170, and the maximum rank difficulty will also be raised to AH50. We invite everyone to step up and take on the challenge.
Not bad. Being able to snowball your wealth is a skill in itself.
4 new characters: Himiko Nova, Motion Axe Blade, Rin Toesucka, and Gilgamesh will be added to the character.
I'm so sorry, Blade, that you had to be
Meanwhile,
Blood Flame.
Blade, Himiko, Sampo, and Bela will also become expert advisors.
I hate the
Let's
expert
chat about
advisor gimmick.
new characters first. First up is Himiko Nova. She
R.I.P.
has 2 initial
Bella
bonds,
Bug Bond,
Express
man.
Cohort, and the
I'll miss
Independent
it.
Bond, Navigator. When Navigator Himiko Nova enters the field, if any companions from the Express Cohort Bond are present, Himiko Nova can select one of them to help pilot the Express. Himiko will directly join the selected companion school bond, obtain the corresponding bond effect, and increase the bond tally by 1.
Hell
At
yeah.
the same time, depending on the companion she selects, she can additionally enhance her own abilities and the Express Cohort bond effects in different ways.
Oh,
Yes.
so that means if I select Don Hung, Imbibitor Lune, Himiko will directly join the skill point bond. And she can tag along to consume skill points.
I actually really like
Himiko's.
Himiko's mechanic.
Yeah,
Cerebra
that's
mentioned.
right. If you select Sunday, Himiko will join the energy bond and gain extra ultimate
Oh my
mega
god,
attack
Cerebra.
counts.
It
He's
looks
back.
like we'll be able to try out a bunch of new team compositions in this version of Currency Wars.
Yep, Motion Axe Blade will also be joining.
Cerebra unironically is like one of the best Himiko drivers for this mode because Cerebra has a problem with overcapping the military merit,
Every
so
time he enters battle,
assist
Motion Axe
skills
Blade will
help that,
randomly forge a piece for
you know,
himself from the recommended gear list.
give you a
If
big...
he's already fully equipped, he'll level up an existing piece into privileged equipment.
The spirit of a craftsman.
Rin Toesucka, meanwhile, is a character with both on and off-field capabilities.
Uh-huh.
Miss Toesucka is definitely joining the skill
Toesucka.
point bond, right? Since she's such a pro at using gem energy and skill points, she's bound to bring a ton of awesome combat effects to the skill point bond.
Spot on! Once Rin Toesucka takes the field, she can consume gem energy to buff the whole team. Plus, she can trigger a combo skill with Archer, whether he's on the
Get
field
up, Sparksy,
or
they're
not.
kicking your ass.
So awesome!
The king of heroes, Gilgamesh!
Oh my god,
will
this is
also
such
join
a...
the energy bond as an on and off-field character.
Why'd they do this to him,
as
bro?
long as Gilgamesh is on the field,
No.
every piece of equipment on our team will catch the king's eye. Since they're now the king of heroes property, they'll boost the team's lucky strike damage,
No.
and the effect he gets
No,
himself
no,
is
please.
Wait a
Don't
minute.
run energy.
Do Rin Toesucka and Gilgamesh both get a brand new bond?
That's right! With the addition of our 2 new collaboration characters, we're also introducing a brand new collaboration faction bond, Holy Grail of Destiny. Rin Toesucka, Gilgamesh, Saber, and Archer will all be part of this bond. Whenever the Holy Grail of Destiny bond level goes up, we get a shot at a Holy Grail wish.
I really like
The
this
Omnipotent
mechanic,
Wish-Granting
though.
Chalice will randomly dish out wish missions. Just pick one to complete, and you'll score
a different
rewards
playstyle,
straight
you
from
know.
The Holy Grail. But watch out.
Cerebra's in
Have to
every
pay
single one of these
the corresponding
showcases.
price. Of course, the higher the bond level, the greater the challenge of the refreshed
They know
mission.
what's up.
Complete a mission,
They
and
know
you'll
what's
also have a
base.
chance to obtain Destiny components like Avalon and Enuma Elish. Equip them to gain extra effects.
Phil, and answer my wish.
It's worth noting that between the version 4.4 update and the launch of the collaboration, the collab faction bond Holy Grail of Destiny, along with Rin Toesucka and Gilgamesh, will first join Currency Wars in a special form.
Oh.
These two collaboration characters will first provide support to allies through projections. Once the collaboration kicks off, they'll make their official debut, and everyone will be able to fully experience the Holy Grail of Destiny bond and the collaboration characters.
Oh, I see.
Providing support through projections first actually makes sense.
Aside from that, this update also adds some interesting new investment strategies and investment environments, like this guy's to blame, and also financial manager, verbal resignation procedures, and hands verb off the keyboard.
Huh? What and what?
I'm just confused.
That's right. The Furbos.
I'm glad I see the
join
Furbos, though.
Currency Wars too. For example, after you get your hands verb off the keyboard, every time you enter a new node, Jamiba will automatically help us with some store and combat operations.
This is really funny. I like it.
Fantastic.
In this version, we've also made a bunch of updates and enhancements to existing bonds and characters.
Okay.
We can't wait for you all to try them out in game.
Verb, awesome.
Plus, this update introduces 2 new planar ornament sets.
I don't remember what these do.
Cosmic Life Sciences Institute. Feel free to farm whichever you need. The Gift of Odyssey is also
Of course.
arriving right on schedule. Check in to claim a 10 pool. There are also the Planar Fisher
course.
and Garden of Plenty events, so remember to take on the challenges. And after the version 4.4 update, the Gift of Stardust store will also begin
Oh, yeah.
some new arrivals,
I forgot about this.
featuring the new pet, Penta Flavor Emoti.
Whoa! This isn't gonna be some kind of mini kitty or mini oldie or something, right?
No, it's just an innocent egg yolk. When you equip the egg yolk, the Penta Flavor Emoti, it'll fly alongside us, and its expressions will change when it's idle or interacted with.
Okay.
It actually flies. Bringing along a little guy that changes expressions is definitely going to lead to all forms of wacky effects during cutscenes.
The store has also been updated with brand new Trailblaze
That's
Fan-made
evil. Okay, I'm gonna wear that.
It's a really Ligus made just for you.
Are you sure this didn't come straight from a fan booth at Star Rail Fest?
Just admit you're
Oh hell
tempted.
no.
I'm totally tempted.
Okay.
All right, it's my turn now. All eyes on me.
It says Sparksy emo skin.
My new outfit, Candy Coated Waves, is hitting the store soon.
She turned goth. She's part of the Angels of Delusion now.
Just too cute.
Ah, so this is your new virtual streaming model.
This just looks
It's
like an
very
AOD character. I'm not
distinctive,
gonna
and
lie,
it most
bro.
certainly suits you.
Dazzled by a flowery world.
Stop showing her ass.
Sparksy
Okay.
is
There
the
we go.
most dazzling of all. I declare.
It does look
today's
like the
Candy
Hu Tao
Coated
skin a bit.
Waves Successfully received.
Woo!
In this version, we'll also be getting some system optimizations. First off,
Oh,
you'll
thank
be
God.
able to level up characters and light cones
Helps me
with
get
a
those 3
single
standards
button,
from Gilgamesh
making it
faster.
much quicker and more convenient. Our achievement system is also getting optimized. You can now claim all your unlocked achievement rewards with just one click. The achievement screen will also feature a search function, making it easier to
Alright.
find specific achievements.
An efficiency boost is always appreciated.
Additionally, the annual Hoyo Fest offline exhibition is
30th
returning from late
July. Are you guys
to
gonna be
early
there?
August. This year, it'll once again be visiting 6 major cities across Southeast Asia. We prepared a wide variety.
Surely I
of
won't get
interactive
arrested when I go to
experiences
this one.
and exclusive merchandise at the event. For specific event and ticketing information, please stay tuned to the official Honkai Star Rail social media channels.
We look forward to seeing you again this summer, Trailblazers.
Come and play.
All right, that's all for today's show. See you next time, Trailblazers.
That's it, really?
Farewell, everyone.
Okay. After show?
Thought something was a bit off. Who took my script? Bleh.
Wait. Oh. Okay, I thought there was another thing going on there. What is this? I don't think I want to know. Hold on.
Yep.
Did we get a bingo? I guess they said this. No free car this time around. Not more than 10 pulls. There's no relic recon. They said this though. I don't think they directly said this. This one's right. This one's not right. Is this right? Wait. Okay, okay. They're not that fraudulent. This one's real though. Free something that isn't Gillen Archer. I guess I never specified their LCs, right? So no Eidolons, no rerun Ashvale. Okay. There's no bingo this time. This is right. Yeah, okay. I think this covers just about all of it. Okay. So I guess we need to talk about this now. All right. So, banner review. Let's talk about the banner review. I need to get my thoughts straight here. Hold on. So, for the entirety of version 4.4, we're gonna have Himiko. And, wait. Hold on. I need to adjust this. Actually, I should just look at the highlights page. Hold on. Never gonna give you up. Never gonna let you down. HSR 4.4 highlights page. Wait, I should just go to HoYoLab. HoYoLab.com. Wait a sec. I am. Okay, the highlights page isn't up yet, so I guess we'll have to deal with this image for a bit. Okay, so hold on, I'm just preparing it. Okay, here we come. Okay, here we go. So, first phase, actually, both phases, we have Himiko's banner active the entire time. And there's nothing really notable in terms of 4 stars. As always, if there's pearls or DDD, that's really the only time that you're going to be looking at 4 stars in a banner at like any capacity. So this is what we have to work with, right? So let's talk about Himiko first. Himiko is an exceedingly strong character, balanced around the fact that her teammates are really bad. She is a character that's basically locked with express units, and her Eidolons are meant to lift those restrictions, especially at E2. This is a noticeable increase because now Himiko isn't stuck to express units, which nowadays aren't exactly the best characters and are lagging behind pretty badly. The best support that she has right now is Welt, who is a support that is okay, but outside of sustainless scenario, she does Welt doesn't actually shine that much in. Even in terms of amp, he's not really that special in compared to everything else that we're seeing these past 3 to 4 months. So Basically, this means that Himeko by herself is such a strong unit because she has to make up for her teammates, right? She's not particularly a perfect character, and by that I mean if you're facing single target, she feels almost unusable from what I've seen. Just because her stronger buff requires you to hit more enemies, and if you're fighting against one enemy, that's just there's just nothing you can do about it really. Even if you get Eidolons, it slows down pretty significantly, unfortunately. But her 5 targets is actually unmatched. If I am from all the showcases that I've seen, Himiko Nova's like the best DPS in the game in anything that has 3 targets. And that is really impressive for a unit that has really bad teammates compared to everything else. So, if you're someone that's like going to start pretty soon, or like you haven't cleared endgame just yet, it's very likely that if you just pull Himiko even without her Sig, she will still function in endgame and get you your first 12-star or whatever, or your first Starboard mode. She gives you a lot up front, even if you don't have her Sig. Apparently she's just really that strong. And her Eidolons are exceedingly strong because she's not chained anymore to her weaker party members, like her E2, most notably. The biggest debate that I've seen about Himiko's value, though, is if this scenario is gonna change at all. Is Himiko gonna get any new teammates? Is something that I can't really answer. The next patch, there isn't an Express unit, it's Aventurine and Robin, from what we know. And it seems pretty unlikely that either of them is going to really have that much synergy with her, but there could be something, right? Like, it's not impossible, it's just I wouldn't really rely on it, but either way. What you heavily have to consider with Himiko is if she's going to get any more party members. She's very similar to a Finon character. I think it's the most accurate comparison to her. Finon is a unit that arguably is so strong on his own that he doesn't even need perfect synergies just to work. And the reason why Finon has survived is because his verticals are just insane. The only clear synergy that Finon has is with Ceridra, and some people are already arguing about that, but either way. Himiko is pretty much a similar case. She's a character that doesn't really have outright strong party members, and that's why she has to rely on her Eidolons a bit to survive the future. So, if you're willing to bet that Himiko isn't getting a new party member, then you're gonna have to pick up her Eidolons. Her Eidolons are really strong, by the way, so it's not like it's worthless, but you do have to consider that if you're looking at Himiko to be like, oh, she's gonna revive my Express units, like, sure, that's gonna happen a bit, but you're probably gonna need Eidolons on Himiko for that to really be a consistent option in the future. That being said, though, I think it's fairly possible that she gets a new party member, like a Ceridro for her, just like with Finon. It seems that just for now, that's not gonna happen for a bit. From every showcase, though, like I said, she's so strong that her E2 is, again, just carries your account, apparently, just because of how strong it is. And because she never had any strong synergies in the first place beyond Astral Express members, that means she can carry literal garbage and still clear with her E2. Of course, she's not as good as Finon in that regard because, you know, sustainless baseline is much higher than sustained baseline, but Himiko's numbers are so high that, well, even with a sustain, I wouldn't really count Himiko out against the DPS competition with Finon or something, but either way. I think Himiko is a pretty interesting character to gamble in. Like, in all honesty, I think she has a very unclear future ahead of her. And if you want to safeguard yourself from a bad future that could possibly happen, you have to pull her eidolons and all that. Which, well, I guess it's not that different from every other character, but even with a character like Asheville, you kind of have some assurance that there's going to be at least a follow-up attack DPS, I guess. But I don't think this is a character that you want to pull for on a rerun. I think this is a character that you want to pull now, otherwise you're gonna sorely regret it. Because at some point in the future, well, even if she does have a new teammate, is she even gonna be worth it at that point? Maybe. Again, this is all just future crafting stuff, so I can't, like, guarantee anything, but if we're gonna judge Himiko just by her performance, now she's a really strong character. Like, apparently she's just top 1 DPS in 5 targets and in 3 targets. It's all just up to the matchup at that point if she's top 1. Of course, being Erudition, 1 target is the kryptonite, and she's... Well, do I want to say unusable? Yeah, probably unusable. It's not worth it at all. And you know, you can pair her with Herta, like it's not... It functions, but that's clearly just because Himiko's so strong she doesn't need outwardly strong synergies. But, you know, that... If you want to buff your Herta, I guess this is the best chance that you're gonna get. Oh, that's so funny. So, that's basically it for Himiko. She's a character that is so... She is a very strong character balanced around the fact that her teammates are really weak. And because of that, a lot of your investment is gonna go to her instead of her teammates. Whether or not she survives in the future is up to the character release. Maybe we're gonna get a Nova Flare Sunday. Well, they didn't announce that, so at a minimum, it's gonna come in like 3 patches or so. But it's gonna be up to the devs themselves if they're gonna release any after sales that will let her keep up, or if this is a unit that's going to be like an E2 merchant for a year and then finally gets a, you know, new party member. Maybe that's the case too. But nevertheless, if you evaluate Himiko right now as a unit, she is obscenely strong because of the fact that her teammates are so weak that even if you're like, you know, have a very undeveloped roster of limited support, she's probably still gonna kick ass. As long as those party members give stats to her, your Himiko is probably gonna be carrying just because a lot of the power budget of the Express team is just locked into her and nobody else. So yeah, that's it for Himiko. I think she's good, I guess. It's just really up in the air what they're gonna do with her. Okay, now for the reruns. Parksy's getting a new skin, so I guess that can factor into your pull plans, right? So... Sparksy is a unit that is really hilarious in retrospect. She released back in 4.0 and that was pretty much her peak, and then she slowly started tumbling down a hill. And well, you know, how good is she? Well, she's not bad, but it's very hard for me to think about Sparksy without thinking about the people that pulled for her and sorely regret their decisions. I think this is mostly due to the fact that main DPS Sparksy is such a weird unit. Because main DPS Sparksy takes away your Sparkle. And because Sparkle after her Nova Flare is such a versatile character, oftentimes if you're running main DPS Sparksy, it really hurts your other teams that they can't run Sparkle anymore. And then you try, Sparksy as a sub DPS, but I mean it's the best team, but you also have EMC as a free option, so it's like but it's really weird to think about Sparksy in the current context because as much as I thought Elation was going to be shielded in 4.0, they didn't really get that many characters. And they're going to be pausing on Elation units. Well, we're going to get Aventurine next patch, so maybe Sparksy has some innate synergy with him, but otherwise I'm really trying to evaluate this character fairly without thinking of the people that are saying to me that they completely regret their Sparksy decision and she feels like a brick. For what it's worth, Sparksy is one of the best Elation shield counters. Compared to every other character, I think she takes advantage all of it the best because it either is a combination of punchline or it's a combination of skill points, and she just does both, So it's very unlikely she gets really countered by an Elation enemy compared to and she's fine with any target count really. It's not that much of a problem to her. But how about her Eidolons? Her Eidolons are good. E2 is a noticeable Sparks increase, so okay, I guess we have to look at Sparksy in two different goals, right? If you're looking at Sparksy as the main DPS, you probably should have pulled for her in the first place. In which case, pulling her Eidolons and signature is really good, obviously. If you're looking at Sparksy as, hey, I want the sub DPS for the premium Elation team to be in my team, something like that, then honestly, probably if you're Evanesia, you don't need Sparksy at all. That's just not gonna happen. If you're Silverwolf, Sparksy is pretty good, but you would probably rather have Silverwolf Eidolons on the rerun or Yao Guang Eidolons on the rerun than Sparksy because EMC is serviceable. A lot of the power budget of Elation seems to come down to the Eidolons of the individual main DPS than anything else. So, well, if you don't think that Silverwolf's getting a rerun, I guess pulling Sparksy now isn't that bad of an idea. But if you're looking at this as a person that doesn't really care about the personality of the character and just looking for meta stuff, I wouldn't pull Sparksy at E0 now. Honestly. In terms of Star Wars mode, again, I don't think she's that good for Star Wars mode because you would need Sparkle for her to function really as a main DPS, but if you're using Sparkle, it really hurts your other teams in Star Wars mode, so that probably isn't a good idea either. And now that we're getting upgrade at your disposal, and if you're getting Archer for free, you might as well get Reen, and that's probably a stronger main DPS team than Sparksy. At least Sparksy has shield counters, but yeah, I wouldn't really recommend it, but I don't think it's that bad of a choice. It won't break your account. Anyway. Next is DHPT. Okay, so DHPT is a good sustain. I mean, the game really hates sustains for some reason. We haven't had a sustain since Hyacine, which was a year ago. And the latest sustain, quote unquote, was 4-4. And well, okay. But straight up, if you don't have Daniel Promise or Tarai already, I don't think it's particularly worth picking up at this point because Is that even true actually? The enemy damage has kind of toned down where Ho-Ho isn't as bad as she used to be. They really stopped doing like hard hitting mechanics after 4-4, which I guess makes a lot of sense, but if you're just picking up E0 DHPT, you would have, I guess you have Hyacine and you have, yeah, I don't, I guess you really don't have a choice because there's only 3 real sustains in the game right now. If you don't have a limited sustain, I guess, yeah, it's kind of hard nowadays, huh? If you don't have Hyacine, that feels terrible. And if you don't have DHPT, that also kind of feels really bad. But there are a lot of sustainless teams right now that are really consistent, like Firefly Break and Finon, which doesn't require DHPT at all to function. It's always hard to evaluate a sustain because it's always like if you're already invested enough into your team that you can do sustainless, any sustain pull is probably gonna feel dog shit unless it's Hyacine. But if you're someone that actively tries to 5 cycle only, like the bare minimum, the HPT is a pretty valuable pull. Because they just refuse to release new sustains. He also has good verticals, but honestly, if you have verticals to spend on the HPT, those verticals would be better spent on probably the DPS's Eidolons or the support Eidolons. For what it's worth, though, the HPT's Eidolons are somewhat more valuable because, you know, for a player that just looks at minimum 5 cycle or whatever, you're gonna spam a sustain anyway. And, like, it's way better to have Eidolons on a consistent option, even if it's slightly weaker compared to a main DPS that you don't use a lot because the matchup just doesn't like them or something. Maybe. You know, I guess it's up to you, really, if you want. If you like spamming sustains in endgame that much. For me, I'm not really that into it. I have plenty of sustainless options that I would rather spend on, and also I have DPSs that have much stronger Eidolons than PT that I don't really want to pull for him, but you know, I don't think it's that bad of an idea to pull his Eidolons, really. Like, it's okay. Is it gonna break your account? Probably not. But is it gonna be optimal? Not really. Probably. Most of the time. Gallagher is free too. The problem with Gallagher is he's also not that safe nowadays. Like, he can survive, but if you're someone that's already looking at 4 to 5 cycles, you want to be really safe, then PT is a pretty good upgrade if you're just really looking for comfort. Even though they did tone down enemy damage from the Remembrance days, it was tuned so far up that Gallagher does still somewhat struggle a bit if the enemy isn't dying fast enough. Which Gallagher doesn't help that much with, but either way. Okay, next, Evernight. Well. This is their second rerun, right? Evernight is no longer the strongest DPS in the game at E0. I don't think that's an argument. We've come to a point now that Evernight at E0 really isn't a... It's like you're too late on the treadmill, and at some point you're just gonna fall behind. But sorry, I coughed a bit. But Evernight is a very strong character if you put Eidolons into her. And if you invested into, well, if you already have E0 Evernight, her E1 jump is strong enough that it's actually worth it. I would only say that strictly if you don't have Evernight already, that it's not really worth pulling her. Unless you just really want to build like the Castris team and all that. And you like don't care about the most optimal choice, I guess. Well, at that point, if you've already pulled Castris and not Evernight, you kind of have to go full in anyway, because otherwise your Castris would feel pretty bad. But I would only really say at E0, you know, if you don't already have Evernight yet, she's not really that worth it of a character. But if you already have Evernight at E0, she's still pretty valuable to pull on just for her E1 and her E2, and she just has really strong verticals, and Rem split is just really useful. You know, if you have Castris vertically invested already, and you want to vertically invest in Evernight, you can just split those two teams up because they're so strong at vertical investment. So, you know, it's not that bad of an idea, really. As long as you already own Evernight and you just want to get her Eidolons, it's a pretty good trade, but... yeah, I guess that's pretty much it, really. She's a great main DPS, but without Eidolons, I struggle to recommend her. Unless you just really want to run the Casters team and all of that. E2S0 or E1S1 for DPS Evernight? I think E2 Evernight calcs better, right? From what I've heard. E1 is really good, but the E2 is really what makes her a main DPS that just spams EV all the time. So if you want to main DPS Evernight, E2 for sure. You do want her Sig still because, you know, there's not a lot of alternatives, but the E2 is really what unlocks her to have the hyper carry playstyle without that much effort. So yeah, Evernight is a good unit. I just don't recommend building her from scratch at this day and age. If you're just pulling for Eidolons, of course she's going to be really valuable still because Mono Rem investment has never failed. Even to this day, it's almost been a year that Evernight released, and well, she's still kicking everything. She just needs a bit more Eidolons now to do it, but yeah, she's still pretty good. Next. Cerebra. Oh boy. Okay. Cerebra's value entirely relies upon how good your Final Naranoxa is and how much you really want to go into this team. As much as I really like her playstyle and I like how she plays and she's really funny to play with, if you do not have Final Naranoxa, this unit feels completely worthless. Okay. For what it's worth, she's getting a new DPS in the name of Reen. Reen really synergizes well with Cerebra as the main DPS, but main DPS Reen isn't exactly something that I would recommend. Because if you're main DPSing Reen, you need Sparkle, and well, you're sabotaging your Archer, and yeah. It has a lot of opportunity cost to run main DPS Reen instead of just doing it normally. But either way, Ceridra is pretty much hard required for Anoxa because he just doesn't have any stronger synergy than Cyrene Ceridra, so if you're an Anoxa main, you definitely have to pull Ceridra at this point. Anoxa feels terrible without Ceridra. And feels terrible without Cyrene, which needs Ceridra. So, no matter what, if you have Anoxa, just pull Ceridra. Her vertical investments are also not that good nowadays. E1 is good, but compared to the Cyrene right now in the banner, it's not even a comparison. It does help, but, you know, it's not really that impressive. A lot of Ceridra's Eidolons are building up to her E6 to make her a main DPS, instead of, like, actively helping the team too much. Her Eidolons are pretty mid, you know, outside of E1, and even E1's pretty just okay, and whatever. Her Sig isn't that worth it either. In some cases, DDD performs better just because Action Advance is such a rare commodity, you know, so I guess you just pull Cyrene's LC, which is a bigger impact on the Anoxa team, and you have DDD copies, which is a bigger impact on the Anoxa team, so no matter what, I don't think you should pull Ceridra's vertical investments if you're an Anoxa haver, because the banner right now has better stuff in the form of Cyrene. As for Finon, well, if you don't have a Z2 yet, there's no reason why you should go into Ceridra just yet, honestly. I think Finon needs his Z2 more than he needs Ceridra. And the problem is that it's very unlikely that Finon's gonna get a new support that is better than Ceridra, so at this point you kinda have to pull Ceridra, because outside of Ceridra, Finon's team synergies are just not that good, and, well, Ceridra herself isn't that OP either, but either way. You should pull Ceridra if you already have E2 Finon and his Sig. That's pretty much my recommendation. If you're that allergic to E2 Finon, I guess you can just save for E0 Ceridra, but again, like, I really would just recommend getting E2 Finon over getting Ceridra, and, like, yeah. And if you want to vertically invest in the Finon team, there's a Cyrene banner out right now, and you just get E2 and you also do that. It's really tricky to evaluate Ceridra, not gonna lie. Is E1 Ceridra not that good? It's good. Again, you have to, like, look at an investment priority. You get Finon's Eidolons first and foremost, then you get Cyrene's Eidolons. Then you pull Cyrene and Ceridra at E0, and then you go Cyrene Eidolons, and then you go Ceridra Eidolons, and there, that's pretty much it, right? She's the last option. She's the last priority, basically, and, well, if you're at that point, then, you know, pull for it, I guess, but whatever. That's it for Ceridra, I guess. She has remained niche all this while. She does have a pretty good synergy with Himiko Nova, but again, Himiko Nova's Eidolons far outrank any support that you can pull for her, at least at the moment. So, yeah, just keep that in mind. The other DPSs she works with are just too gimmicky. It is good that Ceridra can fill in a slot where it might have been someone like RMC or Mortenox Blade, but honestly, a lot of those slots are being compromised now, so, like, Ceridra used to be run with Archer, but nowadays, because Reen exists, you don't really run Ceridra anymore. After that, unless it's a stainless or whatever. Reen has way too many downsides that why not just run Archer instead of pulling for Ceridra and then just having a gimmicky team. Himiko would rather have her Eidolons than Ceridra as a character. And, like, there's just a couple of other things that you would rather go for than pulling for Ceridra. He is fun, like, again, I'm someone that finds having fun team building and trying to play her, but, you know, fun doesn't always constitute the best investment, unfortunately. So, yeah. Next. About Mighty Mouse? Yeah, I guess it works, but Mighty, really? Do you really want to pull Mighty these days? Okay, fine, I guess you can pull Ceridra. Even then, that synergy feels so terrible. Isn't Mortinox Blade somewhat better now? I'm not sure, maybe I'm just making that up, but it would be really funny if he was. Anyway. Next is Anoxer. I pulled Anoxer since release, I've glazed him for like the entire year. And I spammed him in like every endgame. And well, let me tell you something. At 4.1, he fell completely off the rails and almost feels unusable in AA night stages. Even pulling E0 Cyrene and having an E1 Ceridra doesn't seem to fix the fact that Anoxa feels terrible nowadays. Trust me, I'm the biggest Anoxa glazer in the world, and even I don't think he feels that good even in his premium team. Yeah, wow. Anoxa's verticals are terrible, so even if you already have Anoxa, pulling his Eidolons are not that worth it. Especially with Cyrene on the banner, you would rather pull those instead of Anoxa's. His team is very strict. If you don't have Ceridra or Cyrene, you can go fuck yourself. It feels terrible. He feels very much as a stainless merchant because his numbers just haven't caught up. He didn't get any after sales after Cyrene, which hurts him quite a bit. So, you know, as much as I really like this guy, I just don't think he's worth it at all anymore. You know, it's been a year. It's time to, you know, pack it up. You know, hang up the bags. There's really nothing else you can do for this unit at this point. His vertical was already cooked from the start, and well, you know, he's fun. Like the Gatling gun is always something that I'll get, you know, I'll get happy signals out of, but the resulting damage is definitely not as good compared to the other things that you could be getting. You know, it's been a year, right? Like we have to accept the reality now that Anox is just way too old. He hasn't gotten many significant updates in a while, and unfortunately, in a breakneck game, you know, in a breakneck pace like this, it's bound to happen that he just falls off. So, yeah, unfortunately, not a very big recommendation, or even a recommendation at all. Even if you have Anox, you just don't want to pull his Eidolons because of how much value the others have. So, yeah. I'm so sorry, Alexa, but you know, it had to end this way, you know? The inevitability of life and death just is something that even he can't avoid. Next is Aventurine. Oh boy. Okay, I have no idea why they put Aventurine on a banner when they've promoted that Aventurine is getting an SP that's 100% already going to be more value in the first place for Aventurine fans. And they had DHPT in the first phase, which is just a better sustain. Aventurine is somewhat safer than DHPT in some scenarios. I actually used Aventurine more than DHPT in the first Anomaly Arbitrations. But after the enemy damage started toning down, the fact that he's so tanky doesn't really matter that much anymore. So he has no upsides compared to DHPT. His tankiness is not that much needed anymore. and he just doesn't amp your damage that much. His Eidolons are terrible. His signature is completely mid compared to everything else. And if you're an Aventurine fan, why aren't you pulling the swimsuit one? So unfortunately, this is just the biggest skip in the world. I don't know why they sabotaged him like this. Like I would have expected a I would have been more it would have made more sense to rerun Ashvale, honestly. Or like or I guess another fucking Dahlia rerun or whatever, but still, I guess they really ran out of options, huh? Did Acheron get a rerun recently? Am I hallucinating that? Because they could have probably just rerun Acheron, and that would have made some sense. I guess. I don't know. Okay, I'm hallucinating. Never mind. Yeah, I don't know why they sabotaged them like this. If you want a sustain to pull on, the HPT is far better, especially Eidolon-wise. And if you're an Aventurine fan, why don't you want the swimsuit one? Why would you do this? just wait for the swimsuit one. I'm sure you can wait for that. He's probably gonna be a better unit than someone that's been here for like more than 2 years actually, so there you go. What a way to end this banner review. I guess to wrap things up, Himiko is a really strong E0S1 character, but if you want her to survive, you're gonna have to invest more into her Eidolons. This is because the fact that her teammates are so weak that the only thing that you can really do is you need to upgrade Himiko's DPS by investing into her Eidolons. It is very unclear if she's gonna get another Astral Express unit, and that's why if you want her to survive in the future, I would highly recommend getting her Eidolons, because there's absolutely no guarantee that she's going to get a new teammate, and like, you know, getting new teammates in this game can be life or death. Like Saber used to be actually really good when she released, but the lack of after sales completely killed her, and she became one of the worst 3.x DPSs of all time. Her Eidolons didn't help with that either. So Himiko is more similar to a Finon type character, where I would rather bank on her Eidolons than bank on her future synergies, right? Just because her Eidolons are just really strong from what we know so far. Next is Sparksy. I will say I feel like Sparksy is the weakest Elation pull. If you want a main DPS Elation unit, you would rather have Evanescence and Silverwolf. Sparksy compromises your Sparkle usage for different teams, which makes her a pretty huge opportunity cost to try and main DPS with. As a sub DPS, she is good, but the Eidolons for the main DPSs, especially Evanescence Z1 and even Yao Guang Z1, can actually it feels like it has more power budget than Sparksy's own kit. But with Eidolons, notably E2, Sparksy is a really strong powerhouse, so if you're looking to pull for Sparksy Eidolons, it's obviously very valuable, but if you're looking to just get her as a unit, I wouldn't exactly recommend it. Then you have DHPT, who is a sustain. As always, sustain value matters a lot. If you're someone that already runs very sustainless reliant teams like Finon or main DPS, Firefly on break, then obviously PT loses value because that's just one less team that he doesn't really need to be in. But if you're someone that always just looks for the minimal cycle clear, DHPT's comfort increase compared to the other options is incredibly valuable. His Eidolons are not that bad, but there are better things to spend on, but it's not gonna brick your account, I guess. Same with Sparksy, by the way. If you do vertically invest in Sparksy, it's probably not the best option, but, you know, it does something. It's not exactly a brick, so it's fine. Same with PT. His Eidolons are good, just not as good, but, you know, being a sustain, it could be more value for you because it's just versatile. Again, this is just personal preference, how much you really gauge a sustain in your account, and, you know, depending on how you play, right? Next is Evernight, who I would not recommend getting at E0, but her Eidolons are so strong that if you're like, my E0 Evernight feels weak, just pull her E1 and she feels much, much better. And then you pull her E2 and it's a significant power jump, and it doesn't ever feel like she's gonna run out at that point. So I would not recommend her at E0 because honestly, there's more cheaper teams that I think would be better for your purposes, but if you're looking to build the REM team, she is absolutely essential. And if you're just looking to pull for Eidolon, she's still valuable because her power jumps are really high. Next is Ceridra. Unfortunately, her value isn't that high nowadays. Her main DPSs are either just way too gimmicky, have a lot of downsides to trying to run with a Ceridra type comp, or her main DPS is Anoxa, which doesn't feel that good nowadays to invest in. Or it's a DPS like Finon, who would rather have his Eidolons than herself as a character. So, just like her kit, she's pretty niche on if you want to pull her or not. If you have E2 Finon already, that's when her value really starts to jump. But before E2 Finon, I would rather just pull Finon Eidolons than go for Ceridra, but yeah, she's, depending on the account, she's absolutely vital, but for most people, she just isn't doing that much, honestly. Anyway. Anoxa makes me very sad. He's just, you know, it's just the combination of being an old character, bad Eidolons, the lack of after sales after Cyrene, and, you know, in some respects, a bit of anti-shill, that it feels like Anoxa is a baseline sustainless unit that can't really support it, and his numbers just don't feel that good compared to what else you could spend on this game, so, you know, I mean, I would only get him if you're an Anoxa fan, but even if you have Anoxa already, I do not recommend his Eidolons because they're just not, they have always been kind of weak, so yeah, unfortunately. And then you have Aventurine, who, no idea why he's here. DHPT is a much better sustain if you're looking for meta, and if you're looking for gooning, then Aventurine has a swimsuit patch one patch later and is probably just a better character. Actually, he's absolutely just going to be a better character because why would he not be the 2.x character in terms of value? That seems rather ridiculous. Anyway, that's all. Anoxa can't clear nowadays. I never got to Ridra, so I don't know. For me, he can't clear night stages anymore. That happened since 4.1. I start to really feel how bad he is. And in this anomaly arbitration, I got Cyrene. And I still failed to 3-star just because it just feels really weak. And that's, you know, that's crazy considering that I spent the same on Mortinox Blade and somehow got my Akron to clear faster. So, like, you know that it is kind of just a sad case of not having that many after sales and not having that many good Eidolons where a unit can end up in this situation. Like, in the same cost, Akron cleared faster than Anaxa, and that's like flabbergasting to me, even in the King stage for some reason. By the way, when I say clear for night stages, I mean like 3 stars. Anaxa 1-star King Pom Pom, which is just, oh, I felt like I had a whiplash because it really is just that weak. And I have Cyrene at E1 Cerebro with Sig, so like, holy, this was not looking good. Anyway, oh yeah, I forgot about the Fate units, right? I'm gonna have a different review for these characters, but I guess to give you guys like a summary of what I think. Okay. Can they show me banners for these? No? Okay. Alright, so how is Anaxa with E2 Cyrene? I mean, you can 3-star with it. Yeah, you can 3-star with it. True. But, you know, your archer can probably do better with that cost. On Reen, so probably not. It's really sad. Is Dan PT healing enough to use him with Mortanox? In some aggressive fights, not really. Because in optimal scenarios, Blade attacks so much that Dan Hing's healing really can't keep up. And like, you know, at that point, why even bother? Because the more that your team performs with Mortanox Blade and DHPT Sig, the more that his Sig tanks in value, and you don't want that. Ideally, you want to invest in something that makes the team better the more investment you put in it, but whatever. I don't know how to word this correctly. You should want to pull something that makes doing more damage better, right? Like, does that make sense? In Blade's optimal scenarios, he just runs out of the healing from the Sig, and like, if you're not draining that much, then you're just not doing that much damage, which is worse, you know? Okay, I guess I get to talk about these units now. First is Reen Toesucker. So, Reen Toesucka is like a main DPS slash sub DPS hybrid. More on the sub DPS side. She is a unit that, okay, let's face reality for a bit. She is a unit that is only a sub DPS for Archer, and everybody else sucks. I have seen Reen and Zila comps for some reason, but honestly, that wasn't very impressive either. And it seems that she kind of sabotages Zila's game plans a bit, but anyway. As a main DPS, she works with Cerebra and Sparkle to clone her gem energy stuff. And you know, it works, but it's fairly gimmicky. You know, it's a lot like Cypher's ult, where the amount of damage you actually get from it only looks pretty in a screenshot. Otherwise, she's just worse than Archer, even at E0 as a main DPS. Of course, for that to happen, Reen needs to be on the team to support Archer, by the way, so... No matter what, Archer is very reliant on Reen, and Reen is very reliant on Archer. She can function as her own main DPS, but it's weaker than just running Archer, who is free, so why wouldn't you run Archer? And yeah, I mean, she's a good unit because she's paired with Archer. Like, what else could I say? She has an okay she has an okay main DPS team, and she's a sub DPS for one of the best accessible free DPSs in the game that for some reason keeps getting buffed, including Reen's release itself. So why not, right? There's nothing really else left to say about this unit. Her Eidolons are not that strong. Obviously, compared to Archer's Eidolons, well, it's probably just better. Excluding E1, because E1's such a huge quality of life difference, and, you know, sometimes not having the E1 really hurts Archer in his matchups, but Reen's Eidolons are decent, I guess. Of course, it's not as good as Sparkle's E2 and all that, but her E1 is basically just for as a main DPS, really. It's, you know, nothing that special, but her E2 is pretty good. It gives like a true 30% damage increase to his skills, but in Archer's teams, that's not even like a 30% damage increase because Archer's Unlimited Blade Works also hits pretty damn hard, so... And also the joint attack hits pretty hard too, so like... It's not exactly a 30% increase, probably around 20%. But, yeah, I mean... What else are you gonna pull forward to make Archer better, right? The Sig is also pretty strong for Archer too. You know, it gives stats. If you want to buff Herta, I guess this is pretty good too. But let's face the reality. That's only gonna matter if you're running Reen with Herta, and why are you doing that? Wow, I completely forgot about Herta sub DPS for Anoxa, right? It's really that much of a problem. I mean, Rena's probably better as a sub DPS for Herta, but again, why would you do that? Probably with the Sig only though, but either way. How good is Herta Sig on Rena? It's decent. It fulfills all of the requirements, right? So you get SP, you get all the stuff, and yeah, that's pretty cool. And then you have Gilgamesh. Okay, let's try to be optimistic about this, right? Let's try to be as fair as possible with Gilgamesh. Because I think a lot of the discussion around this guy has been kind of poisoned at this point. So what can I say about the first RMC victim? Okay, let's get to like the positives first. I promise you I'm not deliberately being this long trying to come up with one. He's an upgrade to Saber. Yeah. He's an upgrade to the worst 3.x DPS in the game to compete with 4.x units, which is nice. He's fine as a main DPS if you have his E1. But honestly, there's bigger increases with his main DPS team than him himself, but whatever. His light cone, he doesn't really need his light cone if you have Aeon, you can use that, but your Aeon's probably being pulled in like 50 directions, so the signature is pretty nifty, I guess. But I'm really struggling to come up with other stuff here. Yeah. His Eidolons are actually pretty good for him as a main DPS and as a support, but they're not, you know, how do I say this like the nicest way possible? Like, I don't want to be just straight up negative with this guy. Like, I'm trying to be more constructive with what I say. Gilgamesh is a unit that is fine on release. He can do 0 cycle clears. His E1 is fairly cheap, and his E1 does actually allow him to 0 cycle more consistently. And, like, he can clear night stages, but the night stages next patch aren't looking very strong, so take that with a grain of salt. But he has lightning weakness, which with future follow-up attack DPSs and with who am I thinking of? With who else is lightning? Why am I blanking out on this? With Ashbale getting more upgrades and with Acheron being buffed a bit, there's a chance that Gilgamesh is probably going to perform better just because weakness types really like him. As we saw with the mechs, this can be like a huge advantage when it otherwise wouldn't be. But I'm really concerned for this guy because outside of Saber teams, he's not very valuable and is obviously a placeholder. And inside of Saber teams, I don't know if Saber's team is gonna get another 3rd slot anytime soon. That's really the problem that I'm trying to gauge if it's actually like something that you need to worry about, because to head back to Reen, I don't think Reen is actually 100% a safe pull because of Archer. Because now that you look at Archer's best team, which is Archer, Sparkle, Reen, and DHPT or whatever, that team is basically complete. And after E2 for Sparkle and after E2 for Reen, there's really not that much else to go. So even in Archer's team, I'm starting to suspect that Archer is starting to run his limit. And time is kind of ticking for him. And that's why, you know, Reen releasing and making Archer one of the strongest teams in the game for absolutely no cost is probably for a very good reason that he's not going to get any more party members after this. So I can't really say that Reen is a must pull, even though Archer is a very meta character, because I can't even guarantee that team's future anymore. In Gilgamesh's case, I'm not sure either if they're going to get a 3rd slot. And I'm not sure if... and they're not even starting out better than the Archer team. So, like, they're weaker than the Archer team on release. And they also don't have a clear future ahead of them either. You know, I discussed this like at the start of the stream, but if Sunday got a Nova Flare, everything that people doom posted about Himiko Nova incentivizing power creep is gonna come true for them. And Gilgamesh is just gonna end up being decent. So pick your poison, I guess. Do you really want Sunday Nova Flare to like buff this unit? Either way, I don't know what to think about this unit, honestly. It's so hard to guarantee what he's gonna be a part of. It's also really hard to imagine that Gilgamesh gets a buff that benefits him more than any other unit because, well, first of all, they already have exclusive joint attacks, and that apparently didn't do too much for him by the end of V5. But I struggle to think of a scenario where Gilgamesh would be buffed by a specific unit so much while everyone else kind of stays neutral. I'm really struggling to think of one. If it's a Sunday Nova player, Himiko's gonna eat that up and Gilgamesh is gonna take the scraps. And in which case, why would you pull for E1 Gilgamesh? Just get Himiko then. If we're gonna get... I don't know if we're ever gonna get a Gilgamesh specific buffer because we already have joint attacks. I mean, it probably is gonna be next year for the next Fate collab thing. Who knows, right? Like, it's just... I hate to, like, repeat everything, but again, he's a fine unit that can zero cycle now and, like, clear night stages pretty easily, despite the fact that night stages in 4.4 aren't that bad, but... You know, Saber was in the same position a year ago. She zero cycled a lot of stuff, and in night stages did pretty okay. Then, 2 patches later, she was named the worst DPS in the game. Actually, 3 patches, I mean. So, you know, this game is pretty fast-paced. And it's always gonna be a gamble, I guess, if you want to pull for a unit like this. Yeah, I guess to be fair, Himiko Nova is suffering from the same problem, but Himiko Nova is starting off as such a much higher baseline. Himiko is starting at such a high baseline that, yeah, there's no comparison. If both of these units suffer from a drought, Gilgamesh is losing much faster. I think the only notable ones for him is his E1 and E6. So, I mean, there is an advantage with Gilgamesh, though. Because he's like a unit that is available long term and you can predict, you know, you can always rely on Gilgamesh and you don't have to extensively plan around him. You can have, you know, it is very good that you can have an agile pull plan for him. So, like, on the fly, you can invest into Gilgamesh if something goes terribly wrong. So, like, let's say you pulled free Gilgamesh, right? Like, you got him from the selector. You have E0 Gilgamesh. E0 Gilgamesh can handle every content right now, including night stages and even a king stage. It's not going to be a 3-star, but, you know, it's a king stage. It's whatever. You get the dice. Let's say a patch later, let's say a patch later, Gilgamesh is still doing kind of okay. He's not zero cycling consistently anymore, but, you know, he can still clear kings, he can still clear knights that chill him, and there you go, that's sweet. And then 2 patches later, you start to feel like Gilgamesh sucks ass. Then you start pulling his E1, if you really want to, and then let's say his E1 is enough, and there you go, that's it. Like, you don't have to pull E1 Gilgamesh as his banner is up. You can kind of flexibly plan your pulls around him, you know? Kind of like that, right? Whereas with a normal limited character like Himiko, in Himiko's case, if you were betting on her having an after sale and you left her at E0, well, you just screwed yourself over, right? If you didn't think she would get an after sales, and it turns out, you know, the E0 after sale for Himiko is much stronger than her E1 or E2, then you might have also screwed yourself over a little bit. You know, it's fun to have banners like these where you don't have FOMO. And you can do strategies around them that makes your account feel much better to play. If only every banner was like this. But again, that's also just something that you can do, but I wouldn't recommend it either. Like, sure, you can do all of this stuff about, hey, I'm gonna get E0 Gilgamesh and then pull for his E1 when things get really rough. Or, you can just pull the Ashblade team. And, yeah, probably 0 cycle King stages with that. With enough investment, and there you go. So, I mean, yeah, that's it for Gilgamesh, really. He's a unit that, at a baseline, when he releases, he's going to be a fine character. Some might even say, well, to some people's standards, he might even be a strong character. But we've heard the same thing about Saber. We've heard the same thing about Cypher. And we've heard the same thing about Sparksy. What really matters for a unit like this is if you can guarantee that they're going to be shielded or if they're going to have after sales. Sparksy was shielded. Himiko is untrustworthy of getting after sales, but because her Eidolons are such a huge increase and her baseline is much higher, that it is much less risky. In Gilgamesh's case, it's very difficult to see him getting a new support, honestly. But, well, if you have hope for it, then I'm not gonna call you crazy, I just call it a difference of opinion. He is just okay, you know? He is a character that is beholden to how much shield this game is gonna give him, which I do not expect to be a lot. You know, that is my way of seeing things at this point in time. He's shielded right now and can't clear very comfortably. He can. What other showcase are you watching? Also, he's not exactly shield because, well, the only thing he really gets is ultimate damage and skill damage, but assist skills are kind of the in thing right now, and actually, it's kind of the opposite. Because Gilgamesh, Archer, Reen, actually, Gilgamesh, Reen, and Himiko Nova are such generic units, you're actually not seeing that much shield in this anomaly arbitration. It's kind of a surprise, you know? It's kind of refreshing to see that the Night Stage's next patch aren't going to be as bad as this one. Just because the units that they're trying to shield are so generic that, yeah, the buffs are pretty okay for the entire cast, but yeah. They are kind of fooling you by having lower HP than the last Anom and, you know, all of that stuff, but whatever. The biggest show next patch is Full Wish, which is pretty bad, but you know, it's Full Wish. I wonder what I'm gonna run for Full Wish. I think she has more HP than her King stage, which just is flabbergasted. It's just flabbergasting. I don't know if I can ever do. I don't know if I'm gonna clear the next Anom, boys, on one night stage. But anyway. Is it possible for Nova players to happen in 4.5? No. Because they didn't announce it. They would usually announce it one day, one patch before. Maybe we'll get a Nova Flare though. Like in 4.0, they announced it pretty late. Maybe. So, who knows, right? Okay, I changed the title of the stream. Do you guys like it? Refresh your page to see the new title. Is that one still essentially a must for him and Nova? Yes. Her Sig is one of the most ridiculous this game has to offer. The E0S1 rule actually applies to her. And it's not because her E1 is like weak or anything, but because her Sig is actually really fucking strong. You can go straight to E2, you can go S1, you know, and you can even go E1 S1, and honestly, that isn't that bad of an idea. It's really damn good. That's all I'll say. I should read this title. Wait, what does that guy say? That he says like a sound effect at the start. I got lotion on my gill. I'm stroking my gill. I got lotion on my gill right now, man. I'm brick the spoke, man. I'm. Is there any alternatives, or it's more like a if you can't get it, don't bother? There's heard of Sig, I guess, but again, no character these days is like E0S0 viable. Like that's a pipe dream. Unless you're a sub DPS, which is like Mortenox Blade, Reen, or Sparksy even, then going E0S0 is not a good idea. Even some supports nowadays aren't an E0S0 friendly character, so you know, general rule applies. If you're gonna pull a character, you pull their signature. Always. Unless they're an E2 merchant. And even then, you want Sig for those, so. That's why I said sub DPSs are exempt from it. And so are supports. Some supports aren't. I mean, Cyrene is a sub DPS. E00 is fine. I've been streaming for almost 3 hours now, so I guess we're gonna end it pretty soon. Do you guys have any other questions so that I can end the stream? By the way, I'm gonna release a video about the Gilgamesh or Archer selector tomorrow, probably. Maybe Joe up and running, but any questions about investment or anything will be answered by a banner review and they select the review. So there you go. Is it worth the post to rid up or just Zila? No. I mean, if you're in the if you're in the mindset of pulling characters just for Zila, I guess you should anyway. Like, you're insane enough to do that. You might as well. Like, if you're already in the headspace that you want to pull premium options just to keep your Zila running, then sure. You know, you're clearly a psychopath. Don't let me stop you. I have E2 Final and E0 EV. Do I prioritize Cerid or EV Eidolons? Good question. I would say get E1 Evernight. Because I do feel somewhat that E0 Evernight is starting to slip a bit. And E1 Evernight is a substantial enough upgrade that I can recommend it. But if you don't have Ceridra at all, that's pretty complicated. Honestly, probably pull Ceridra. Like, you have to... I guess you have to check out in the next anomaly arbitration if, Finon without Ceridra can clear, or Evernight without E1 can't clear. Just check, right? If it's both, well, you're screwed. But if it's either one, then you're kind of chilling a bit. You should probably just get both, though. Anyway. How good is Gil for Ashblade team compared to E1 Tribi? Side grade. I'm not kidding, he's a side grade. In single target, he's probably an upgrade because Tribi just doesn't fucking function without AoE, so... He's the side grade at the end of the day. E1 Tribi wouldn't be better in single target because her ult downtime is just really crippling. But if Tribi is in anything like a two enemy fight or even a 3 enemy fight, if Tribi is in a 3 enemy fight or even a 2 enemy fight, yeah, Tribi E1 is winning that battle. No way. But you're also comparing E1 Tribi and E1 Gilgamesh as if there isn't a main DPS waiting to replace them both. So, you know, do with that information what you will. Represent defense shred with Gil E1. Yeah. Allegedly now leakers are saying Wave N isn't part of Mono Men, but that's questionable. Yeah, that's... Anox's investments are weak. Please do not do them. Even in terms of like signatures, there's now Sig that you can pull on, and there's Himiko's. I think Himiko's Sig actually works for him, but he doesn't make use of all of its effects anyway. But yeah, just don't vertical Anoxa. Outside of its... Hello? Am I back? Are we back, chat? Okay, we're back. I knocked over a cable. Okay. 3 hours now. I guess it's time to end the stream. I'm going to be... I forgot about this image. Let's change it. I'm going to start scripting my video now. So I'm gonna be pretty busy. What do we change this image to, actually? Here's the thumbnail, I guess. Here's gonna be the thumbnail for the next video, just to spoil you guys. Yeah, anyway. I'll see you all tomorrow. Hopefully, I manage to get this video out. Anyway. Bye!